Part 20. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at Westlake. Chapter 191. Teach, he must pay the price. Boom. The extremely powerful and terrifying overlord-colored domineering energy burst out from Whitebeard's body, instantly forming a tsunami-like impact wave that swept across all directions. Whitebeard was angry, and it was unprecedentedly angry. At this moment, the world was shaken. Black clouds in the sky shrouded in lightning and thunder. It seemed that God was frightened by Whitebeard's anger and had no choice but to create lightning and thunder to counter Whitebeard's anger. After that, the Whitebeard pirates held a funeral for the dead Sachi. The killing order issued by Whitebeard also spread throughout the New World in an instant. The major forces, pirates, and kingdoms in the New World knew this amazing news one after another. Before Lucifer appeared, the Whitebeard pirates were the world's most powerful pirates. The strongest existence, and the atmosphere in the group is harmonious, like a family. There has never been a betrayal by a member. Blackbeard killed his companions and defected for the first time in decades. Whitebeard's pressure was provoked, and many pirates were very angry. I admire this guy named Teach for actually having the guts to do such a big thing within the Whitebeard pirates. Hey, have you heard? Whitebeard has issued a killing order. Of course I've heard of it. This guy named Teach is really amazing. How brave is this guy who dares to kill his comrades in the Whitebeard pirates? Do you want to participate in this hunting operation? As long as you kill Teach, you can join the Whitebeard pirates and get Whitebeard's protection. By then, we will also have a strong backer. With Whitebeard as your backer, you can walk sideways in the New World. In response to the conditions offered by Whitebeard, countless pirates in the New World went crazy. Like sharks smelling blood, they took action one after another. They had only one goal, to kill Teach and take his head to Whitebeard. The pirate group receives the reward. Whitebeard's reward is much more attractive than money. However, some are jealous and crazy, while others remain unmoved by Whitebeard's attractive reward. They are all sensible people. From this incident, we saw the fatal danger. Locke, aren't you going to find that Teach? In a tavern, a group of powerful pirates found a man. His name was Locke. He was an independent pirate and very powerful. He was recruited by many pirate groups, but he always fought alone. I am not interested. Locke shook his head. I advise you not to join in the fun. This incident is not something people of our level can participate in. Teach can kill one of Whitebeard's captains, so he is certainly not weak. The most important thing is this time period. The Nether pirates are so powerful that they are likely to have a battle with the Whitebeard pirates. It is very dangerous to join the Whitebeard pirates at this time. In an all-out war between the two strongest pirate groups, can you guarantee that you will survive until the end? Locke has been able to thrive in the New World not only because of his strength, but also his wisdom. He knows very well that at this critical moment, joining the Whitebeard pirates is not only not beneficial, but also very dangerous. Netherworld. The power of the pirates is now well known to the world. The Big Mom pirates and the Beasts pirates were destroyed successively. In Locke's view, the Whitebeard pirates did not have much chance of winning. Unfortunately, Locke's reminder did not give in. The group of pirates gave up. After all, they were the Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard's reputation had already been deeply rooted in the hearts of the people, and few people could refuse his protection. This opportunity is rare and I won't give it up. That's right, you must kill that Tiki and join the Whitebeard pirates. By then, we will be members of the Whitebeard pirates. A group of pirates walked out of the tavern and went to sea vigorously to hunt down Teach. Watching them leave, Locke shook his head. It's hard to persuade the damned ones, and he can't stop people who are seeking death. Situations like this will happen in the New World. It happened everywhere, and 80% of the pirates in the New World were dispatched to hunt down Teach. Some weak people did not dare to fight Teach head-on, so they secretly tracked him and then sold information. In this way, you can earn money, a large fee. Some pirates accidentally found a way to get rich. Because of this, Blackbeard Teach's whereabouts were quickly exposed and he was endlessly hunted. The New World is really lively during this time. On King Glong's head, Lucifer was holding a newspaper with a sneer on his lips. What was published in the newspaper was the incident where Whitebeard issued a killing order. I didn't expect that the Fruit of Darkness would come out during this time period. Is it because I changed history? In the original work, the dark fruit only appeared around 1520 in the ocean calendar. At that time, Lucifer had not yet gone to sea and was preparing to go to sea. Later, in order to chase Blackbeard, Ace met Luffy on the way and met him. At this time, Ace had just joined the Whitebeard pirates and had not yet become the captain. Therefore, he did not go out to sea to hunt down Teach. The dark fruit has the power to restrain all devil fruits and is known as the most vicious ability. I don't know who can defeat whom compared to my word spirit fruit. Lucifer smiled coldly and threw the newspaper down into the sky, flying everywhere. Now Lucifer has awakened the word spirit fruit. In terms of ability alone, Lucifer doesn't think the dark fruit is stronger than the word spirit fruit. If you add domineering power to it, in terms of strength, Lucifer's overall strength is much stronger than Blackbeard. Lucifer didn't even take a mere Blackbeard seriously. Go ahead and make the noise bigger and see how much fun you can add to the next war of the century. The green dragon flew in the clouds, whipped up the wind and roared into the sea, and soon disappeared into the sky. The first half of the New World, on the Red Foss. Red-haired Shanks looked at the newspaper in his hand and remained silent. When it comes to understanding Blackbeard, Lucifer ranks first, and Shanks ranks second. He was the first person to discover Blackbeard's great strength and huge ambitions. Sure enough, Blackbeard took action. You chose this critical moment, that bastard. Rebellion. Sooner or later, Blackbeard chose to rebel on the eve of the war. In this way, Whitebeard would be distracted from dealing with Blackbeard, and it would be difficult to concentrate on preparing for the battle with Lucifer. Blackbeard. The red-haired man touched the scar on his eye, and the scar there was aching. He has traveled all over the world and gone through hundreds of battles. He has received countless injuries and scars. But it still hurts. There were only these 3 scars left on his eyes. This scar was left by Blackbeard on him. During the battle, he was not careless or distracted. From that time on, the red-haired man discovered that Blackbeard was powerful, the strength. He also knew the huge ambition hidden in Blackbeard's heart. He wanted to remind Whitebeard, but he never had the chance. Blackbeard's rebellion had long been expected by the red-haired man, but this time period was too bad, so that the redhead is worried. Shanks, what are you going to do? Beckman came to the red hair and asked in a low voice. There is nothing I can do. The red-haired man shook his head and said, now we don't have the energy to deal with Teach. The main target must be Lucifer. Although he knew that letting Teach escape would cause endless troubles, the red-haired man still planned to get rid of Lucifer first. After all, Lucifer was undoubtedly a greater threat than Blackbeard. Let's go, gather the troops. If we want to defeat Lucifer, our current military strength alone is far from enough. While the Whitebeard pirates are intensively gathering their forces, the red-haired pirates are also gathering their forces. Although Whitebeard has made it clear that he will not join forces with him to deal with Lucifer, the red-haired pirates have to intervene in this war. He knows, the following all-out war is the best opportunity to deal with Lucifer. This battle is obviously a decisive battle between the Netherworld pirates and the Whitebeard pirates. But the red-haired man knows that the Navy headquarters will definitely intervene, and he also will intervene. Gather all the forces of the Whitebeard pirates, Navy headquarters, and red-haired pirates to deal with Lucifer. Although the parties are fighting alone and not joining forces, the red-haired pirates, white-beard pirates, and Navy headquarters, their goals are all Lucifer. Different paths lead to the same goal. This is the most likely opportunity to eradicate Lucifer. The opportunity only comes once and it is fleeting. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 192. The Navy headquarters has released the latest bounty order for the Nether Pirates. The amount of Lucifer's bounty has not changed, it is still 6,052.5 million belly. Once the bounty reaches a certain level, there is no point in increasing it. This is how Lucifer is now. Killing Kaido and destroying the beast pirates will not increase Lucifer's threat and strength. Regardless of what he does or not, the Navy headquarters and the world government have listed him as the most dangerous pirate in the world. The Red Earl's bounty has not changed, and his danger level no longer needs a bounty to prove. But the bounties for other members of the Nether Pirates have been significantly increased. In particular, legendary pirates such as Shilio of the Rain and Bondivaldo have all received the bounties they deserve. Whitebeard 2 Edward Weeble, with a bounty of 1.57 billion baileys, committed a heinous crime and could live or die. Charlotte Katakuri has a bounty of 1.457 billion baileys. She has committed such a heinous crime that she does not care whether she lives or lives. The God of Thunder, Enel, has a bounty of 1.428 billion baileys. He has committed such a heinous crime that he does not care whether he lives or lives. Shilio of Rain, with a bounty of 1.395 billion baileys, the crime is so heinous that it doesn't matter whether he lives or lives. The World Destroyer, Bundy Waldo, has a bounty of 1.38 billion baileys. He has committed a heinous crime and will not care whether he lives or lives. The Evil King, Abelo Pizarro, has a bounty of 1.338 billion belly. He has committed such a heinous crime and will not care whether he lives or lives. Swanyu Hunter Katrin Daime has a bounty of 1.398 billion baileys. She has committed such a heinous crime that she does not care whether she lives or lives. San Juan Wolf, with a bounty of 1.27 billion belly on his head, is a heinous criminal who can live or die. The Big Wine, Basque Chote, has a bounty of 1.255 billion baileys. He has committed such a heinous crime that he will not care whether he lives or lives. Charlotte Smoothie, with a bounty of 1.232 billion baileys on her head, committed a heinous crime that no matter life or death. Charlotte Cracker, with a bounty of 1.16 billion baileys, committed a heinous crime, and no matter life or death. Inu Arashi has a bounty of 1.020 billion baileys on his head. He has committed such a heinous crime that he will not care whether he lives or lives. Cat Viper has a bounty of 1.015 billion baileys. He has committed a heinous crime and does not care whether he lives or lives. The White God of Death, Simon Hay, has a bounty of 844 million baileys. He has committed such a heinous crime that he will not care whether he lives or lives. Caesar Carant, with a bounty of 822 million baileys on his head, committed such a heinous crime that he could live or die. Jack the Ripper, with a bounty of 790 million baileys on his head, committed a heinous crime and could live or die. Weasel Cavendish, with a bounty of 735 million baileys on his head, committed a heinous crime, and no matter whether he lived or died. Battle Maid Baby 5, with a bounty of 710 million baileys, a heinous crime, no matter life or death. Not counting Lucifer and the Red Earl, the Nether Pirates now have a total of 13 big pirates with bounties exceeding 1 billion. The number is equivalent to the sum of the top cotters of the 4 Yonko pirates. There are also a lot of people with bounties of 700 to 800 million, and there are more than 50 people with bounties of more than 500 million. The Yonko pirates are no longer enough to describe the terror of the Nether Pirates. Lucifer felt that only the Rocks pirates back then had such terrifying combat power. It's getting more and more interesting. On the top of King Glong's head, Lucifer dropped a stack of bounty orders and let him float in the wind. And he took the Qinglong to fly to the country of Wano. A few days later, Lucifer returned to the country of Wano. The Netherworld pirates, the army is still stationed here. In the palace of the general's mansion, many cotters gathered. Captain Lucifer, all the islands left by Kaido have been occupied. Aine stepped forward and said respectfully. Yuzhilio said the territory has been trained to align, and all the islands in the buffer zone have been conquered. We can proceed with the next plan. Next up is Whitebeard. Pizarro held the wine glass with a hint of fierceness on his face. Whitebeard is a little embarrassed these days. Waldo showed a trace of mockery and said, if anyone dares to betray me, I will definitely cut them into pieces. Waldo was betrayed by his pirates more than 30 years ago and was arrested and imprisoned. After he was released from prison, the first thing he did was to find his remaining subordinates and kill them all. Who hates betrayal the most? Waldo deserves it. Captain, we can start the war. Everyone looked at Lucifer, eager to try, and high in fighting spirit. Lucifer smiled evilly and said, although it is a bit bullying to fight with Whitebeard at this time, Whitebeard is not an ordinary old man, and I believe he will not mind. Is it still the same as before, sending troops to attack the Whitebeard pirates' lair? Asked Cavendish. But the Whitebeard pirates don't have a lair, right? The main ship of the Whitebeard pirates has been wandering on the sea with an unpredictable whereabouts. It is different from the Big Mom pirates and Kaido of the Beasts. Find someone to give him the gauntlet. Lucifer looked around at the crowd and said, who is willing to take a trip? I go. Shilio was the first to speak. I go. Let me go, Captain Lucifer. It's been a while since I've seen Whitebeard, so it's time to catch up. I can too. Let me go, just in time to meet the former strongest man in the world. Ziliu, Pizarro, Waldo, Chote, Eniro, and others spoke one after another. It was dangerous to send a letter of war, but none of them had anything to fear. Enelu, it's up to you to take a trip. Lucifer looked at Enelu and said. Enelu is fast and can fly. He can escape even if he is besieged. It is best for him to send a letter of challenge. Give it to me. Enelu grinned and looked very excited. Lucifer immediately wrote a letter of challenge, agreed on the time and place of the decisive battle, and handed it into Enelu's hands. Enelu took over the tactics, and with a flash of lightning, he flew away. Up in the sky. A sea area in the New World, the sun is shining brightly and the water is calm. There was no party on the Moby Dick. It had just been a few days since Thatch's death, and the members of the Whitebeard pirates had not yet gotten over their grief. The two pirates stood on the lookout and paid attention to their surroundings. They were responsible for observing the surrounding waters, discovering potential enemies in advance, and escorting the Moby Dick's voyage. Call out. A bolt of lightning flashed in the clouds and was accurately captured by the pirates. Hey, look over there. A pirate yelled with a telescope. His companions also looked with telescopes at the same time, and sure enough they saw the existence of lightning in the clouds. The lightning was very fast and was approaching them quickly. What is that? Is it a weather change? Lightning has no entity, so both pirates thought it was a natural phenomenon. When the lightning got closer and closer, both pirates felt uneasy and quickly sounded a warning. Dad, there is a bolt of lightning approaching quickly from the northeast, it may be an enemy. The pirates' warning sound put everyone on alert immediately, and the pirates on the boat looked northeastward at the same time. Sure enough, there was a bolt of lightning in the clouds there that kept passing through at a very fast speed. Ordinary pirates only thought it was a bit strange, but what they saw and heard was domineering. The outstanding captain has sensed the breath of the beast. Is it Thor? Marco flew up to the mast, stared at the lightning in the distance with a pair of dead fish eyes, and murmured to himself. Marco could only think of one person who could turn into lightning and have such a powerful aura, the god of thunder Enel. One person dares to break into the territory of our Whitebeard pirates. He is too arrogant. Baista, the foil swordsman, has drawn out his two swords, his face full of murderous intent. If he dares to come, let him never come back. Diamond Josie is also ready to attack with all his strength. The newly joined ace has a fierce face, his body is already burning with flames, and he is ready to attack at any time. Is there only one person coming? The kid is really arrogant now. Whitebeard sat on the sofa without getting up, looking at the lightning in the sky with a calm expression. Phew! The lightning flashed, and Enel appeared on the bow of the Moby Dick. Clang! 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 A burst of knives. The light flickered, and Enel was surrounded by members of the Whitebeard pirates. Yeah, ha 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 ha, are the welcome ceremonies of the Whitebeard pirates so special? Even though he was surrounded, Enel did not show any fear, but laughed wildly. Thor, are you here to die alone? Marco stepped forward and said expressionlessly. Yeah, ha 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 ha, there are no fools in this world who are looking for death. Enilu said, Captain Lucifer has a letter of war to give to Whitebeard, so can I see Whitebeard? Idiot, who would let you get close to Daddy? Yes, if you dare to come to the Whitebeard pirates to run wild, you won't be able to take a single step. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 193. Chapter 193, A Challenge to Whitebeard. A battle will determine life and death. Please subscribe, first update. You will die here soon. You actually dare to come to the Whitebeard pirates to declare a challenge. You are so arrogant. Where do you think this is? You are dead today. Aniro's arrogant attitude made the people of the Whitebeard pirates furious. The crowd was furious, and more than 1,000 pirates were ready to move, shouting to fight and kill. As long as the captain gave the order, everyone would swarm forward and mess up Aniro. Dismember the body with a knife. Let him come. Suddenly, Whitebeard's voice sounded. Dad, is that okay? Jose, who was standing next to Whitebeard, was a little hesitant. He was afraid that Enilu would play some tricks. Goo la 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 la, it doesn't matter, let him come over. Whitebeard laughed boldly. Lucifer, that brat is not capable of such dirty tricks. Although they are enemies, Whitebeard still admires Lucifer very much. He has never met Lucifer, but he knows Lucifer's character well. He is not a despicable person who can play tricks. Many pirates separate a road and go straight to the end. Whitebeard. Enel walked through it, facing the ferocious pirates around him, his expression unchanged, showing his boldness and courage. Finally, Enel came to Whitebeard. This was the first time he saw the world of his predecessor. The strongest man, Whitebeard's huge size and vague aura made Enilu's heart skip a beat. With just one look, Enilu already knew that he was no match for the old guy in front of him. Kid, bring me the letter. Whitebeard looked down at Enilu and said. Enilu grinned, took out a letter from his arms, and threw it at Whitebeard. The letter was wrapped in lightning, and the lightning flashed, and Whitebeard caught it. Such a little, of course, the method was useless against Whitebeard. This time Whitebeard did not tear up the letter because it was a letter of challenge. After reading the letter of challenge, Whitebeard suddenly laughed wildly. So la 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 la, that kid Lucifer is really arrogant. Dad, what did the letter say? Marco asked hurriedly. It's nothing, just the time and place of the decisive battle. Whitebeard threw the challenge to Marco, then looked at Enel. Go back and tell Lucifer that I agree. 7 days later, a battle will determine life or death. Good. Enel grinned and was about to leave. Suddenly, he stopped and looked at Ace in the crowd. "Are you Fire Fist? Life is so great," he was able to survive from Shirley's hands. "You are the first one who can escape the pursuit of the Netherworld pirates. But hiding in the Whitebeard pirates won't save your life. I hope you won't run away in 7 days." "Don't worry, I won't run away." Ace took a step forward and growled, "7 days later, I will personally cut off Lucifer's head and make him pay the price he deserves." "Ha ha ha ha, just a little brat has a big tone." Anilu smiled instead of being angry. A newcomer said that he wanted to chop off Lucifer's head. To him, it was a big joke. "If you can do it, try it yourself." After saying that, Aniru turned into a bolt of lightning and soared into the sky, and disappeared out of the sky in an instant. The two armies were fighting, and Buza came to envoy. Although killing Anilu now can weaken the combat power of the Netherworld pirates, but Whitebeard would obviously not do such a despicable thing. Wano Country Prison, mine. A group of pirates mined here and worked as coolies. They were all pirates who were not strong enough, and Lucifer did not want them even if they surrendered, so they were stay here to mine. Among a group of pirates, 2 pirates are very conspicuous. One is Quinn, whose body is very fat, like a meatball. When mining, the fat on his body shakes, and every time he shakes, he sweats like falling like rain. Damn Lucifer, he actually asked me to do hard labor for him, I can't spare him. Quinn would curse under his breath every time he opened a mine. "Okay, Quinn, this isn't the time to complain. People under the eaves have to bow their heads." Besides, there was a beautiful woman who was about the same size as Quinn. She was Black Maria. Quinn glanced around, feeling sad. It turned out that he was in charge of Rabbit Bowl Prison, and every time he would watch others mine from afar. He was a coolie. But today, it was his turn to work in the mines as a coolie. When will Lucifer come back? I can't bear it anymore. Quinn wanted to surrender to Lucifer a long time ago, but Lucifer didn't come back. Even if he wanted to surrender, he couldn't find anyone. Seeing a group of pirates supervising him, Quinn felt uncomfortable all over. Just in Quinn, because when I was complaining, Lucifer's voice suddenly sounded. "You're doing well here, Quinn." Quinn turned his head and saw Lucifer on the high platform at a glance. "You still have so much fat on your body after working hard every day. It seems like you are not serious about your work." Quinn was about to cry. During this time, he was digging holes and doing hard work, and his weight was falling. "This is not serious, so what is serious?" "Lucifer, I am willing to surrender, please let me out." Quinn was not as stubborn as Yin, and he had no intention of being buried with Kaido. When he saw Lucifer arriving, he quickly begged for mercy. Lucifer glanced at Quinn, then looked at Black Maria. "What about you? This Miss Black Widow?" "Black." Maria smiled dryly and said, "Of course I am willing to surrender, and I also ask Lord Lucifer to take him in." Lucifer smiled slightly. "I just like you guys who know the truth. Come on, take off their handcuffs." "Yes." The 2 pirates stepped forward and unlocked the sea stone handcuffs for Quinn and Black Maria. After regaining their freedom and regaining their strength, Quinn yelled involuntarily. It was very refreshing, but the feeling of being restrained by the sea stone handcuffs was too uncomfortable. "Got it? Get ready, we are about to start a war with the Whitebeard pirates. If you don't want to die, adjust your condition as soon as possible." After that, Lucifer disappeared directly on the high platform. Quinn and Black Maria looked at each other, speechless. This was too exciting. They had just come out of prison and were about to go to war with the Whitebeard pirates, and they were not prepared at all. The large-scale deployment of troops by the Netherworld pirates and the Whitebeard pirates, Dongzhou, naturally could not be hidden from the eyes of the Navy headquarters. At the same time, Sengoku also learned about Lucifer's letter of challenge to the Whitebeard pirates through the undercover agent he installed. The two Yonko pirate groups have decided to go to war, and the Navy headquarters has also begun taking action. Marineford, Navy Grand Conference Room. A battle meeting of the highest scale is being held. Warring states looked around at everyone and said, "Everyone, we have received accurate information that Lucifer is going to war with Whitebeard." "Where and when will the war begin?" asked a vice admiral. "This is still unclear, and undercover agents are still trying their best to investigate." The undercover agent placed by warring states in the Netherworld pirates had a low status. He was just a squad leader and could not find out the exact time and place of the war. Lucifer also knew that there were undercover naval agents within the pirate group, but he didn't care and didn't I went to investigate. A few undercover agents can't affect the overall situation. As long as the strength is strong enough, it doesn't matter even if all the internal information is leaked, Lucifer can still break the law with force. Although we don't know the time and place yet, it's always a good idea to prepare early. The warring states period continued. The world's government has ordered that all naval forces will be dispatched this time, vowing to completely eradicate Lucifer. If given the chance, we will eradicate the Whitebeard pirates too. If the Nether pirates and the Whitebeard pirates can be wiped out together, the pirate power in the New World will be insignificant. Our navy may have a chance to completely eliminate the pirate threat from the world. At the thought of a possible victory, many senior naval officials in the conference room were excited. Sengoku said, "In order to ensure victory, I have ordered the convening of the Shishibukai. With their participation, our chances of winning will be greater." Shishibukai. Are they trustworthy? A bunch of scum on the sea, don't rebel against Lucifer. Some hawkish vice admirals showed disgust. They did not trust the Shishibukai very much. Although the Shishibukai were a force under the navy, they were ultimately a group of lawless villains. If given the chance, the navy headquarters would also like to eradicate them all. This is the absolute justice that their hawkish navy believes in. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at Westlake. Chapter 194. After the warring states order was issued, the Navy headquarters fleet was dispatched. The New World G1 branch has already guarded 100,000 troops. Now the Navy headquarters has mobilized another 100,000 troops, for a total of 200,000 troops. In addition, the three generals of the Navy and martial warring states all went to battle in person. In order to deal with Lucifer, the Navy headquarters can be said to have gone out with all their strength. There is another thing that the warring states period did not tell his generals. That is, in this war, the red-haired pirates will also participate in the war. They are allies of the Navy headquarters. The Navy and the great pirates of the Yonko have joined forces, and such news cannot be leaked. Therefore, the only people who know about it within the Navy are Marshal Sengoku, Chief Staff Officer he and the three generals. New World, Krakena Island. This is an uninhabited desert island. The island is full of ruins left by the war. Only a castle in the center of the island is intact. This is the residence of the world's greatest swordsman, Hawkeye my Hawk. In the castle, Hawkeye is holding a letter, with a smile on his face. The decisive battle of the century that affects the whole world is really interesting. It's been so long that I feel a trace of a warrior's passionate fighting spirit. Hawkeye has been the world's #1 swordsman for too long. He has been without an opponent for a long time, which makes Hawkeye very bored. On weekdays, he can only row a coffin boat and drift with the tide, looking for those inconspicuous pirate groups to pass the time. He has been looking forward to someone who can have a good fight with him day and night. This opportunity finally came. Not only the former world's strongest man Whitebeard, but also the new world's strongest man Lucifer, as well as the old era the pinnacle swordsman is Red Earl Rider. Whether they are strong men or great swordsmen, every Hawkeye among these three people wants to fight against each other. This battle will determine the future direction of the world and change the pattern of the world. No one can be immune to this alone. Eagle Eye saw the raging sea in the distance through the window, and a pair of falcon pupils exuded infinite coldness. Then, Eagle Eye picked up the black Daoya and walked out of the castle. The black Daoya carried on his back exuded the sound of a knife, sounds like excitement and excitement. Windless Zone, Daughter Island. There is a quarrel taking place in the palace. Snake Princess, if you don't go to the war, the Navy will deprive you of your title as King of the Shishibukai. At that time, Hinata Island will be in danger. Grandma Nu, leaning on her snake staff, yelled at Empress Hancock. So what? No matter what I have done? All will be forgiven. Because I am so beautiful. Empress Hancock raised her head, pointed her chin at Granny Nu, and said proudly. When the Amazon warriors next to them saw Hancock saying the classic lines, their eyes lit up and turned into little hearts. Their bodies and minds had been destroyed by Hancock. Cook was captured, and even Granny Nu was tempted for a moment. But soon, Granny Nu came to her senses. Snake Girl, do you know what the next battle means? The Nether Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates are in full-scale war. If the Nether Pirates win, they will completely become the overlord of the New World. From now on, no one in the New World will be able to compete with it. The Navy headquarters will never let this happen, so they will summon a large army to participate in this decisive battle. As a force under the command of the imperial household, the King's Shishibukai must also participate in the war. This is a mandatory summons. If you refuse, you will be subject to full retaliation afterwards. Snake Princess, do you want to watch Daughter Island be destroyed by the Navy? Snort. So what? Hancock said indifferently. Granny Nu wanted to speak again, but was interrupted by Hancock. Shut up, old woman, you talk too much. This is my palace, get out of here. After saying that, Hancock directly grabbed Granny Nu and threw her out of the window. The people nearby did not stop her, and no one was worried that something would happen to Granny Nu. Although she was old, she was still very strong. Even from he could fall to the ground safely even if he fell from a height of tens of meters. When Granny Nu left, only the Empress Hancock and her two sisters were left in the palace. Different from the previous arrogant and willful character, Hancock at this moment Cook is very serious and has a dignified expression. She knows everything Granny Nu said. She also knows the serious consequences. However, Hancock does not want to fight for the government of the world. The inhumane abuse he suffered many years ago, Hancock extremely hates the celestial dragons and the world's government. The most important thing is that Hancock does not want to be an enemy of Lucifer. The world does not know that Hancock, the pirate empress, is the #1 fangirl of the devil Lucifer. Since Lucifer was bulldozed Marijoa, after killing countless Dracos, Hancock became extremely obsessed with Lucifer. Sister, I really don't plan to join the war. Yes, if we don't join the war, the Navy headquarters will definitely destroy the entire Daughter Island. Now the Navy's new warships can freely enter and leave the windless zone. Boya Sundasonia and Boya Marigorid were both very worried. Daughter's Island was originally located in a windless zone, surrounded by large sea king nests. It was the strongest natural barrier and could not be approached by outsiders. However, the new warships developed by the Navy can shield the breath, and the Sea King class cannot launch attacks. In this way, the natural danger of Hinata Island no longer exists. With the power of the Navy, as long as it is willing, the entire Hinata Island can be destroyed at any time. The most critical thing, yes, they can't even escape. Because Daughter Island is a country, there is no way to escape. You go out first and let me think about it again. Hancock bit his nails and frowned. Underwater world, Fishman Island. In the Dragon Palace, Kai Xiaojin Bei and King Neptune sit opposite each other. I heard that the Navy headquarters has issued a compulsory summons order for you," said King Neptune. "Ah, that's right." Jinbei nodded. "Are you going to fight?" "Of course not." Jinbei shook his head and said, "I will not help the Navy in this battle." "Have you made up your mind yet?" King Neptune knew his old friend very well. Although Jinbei didn't say it, he had already guessed Jinbei's next plan. "That's right, Daddy Whitebeard has protected Fishman Island for many years. Even if it's just to repay his kindness, I have to help him. Even if it costs me my life, I won't hesitate." "I'm sorry, Your Majesty." Jinbei knew that once he helped Whitebeard, he would definitely offend the Navy headquarters and be deprived of the title of Shishibukai. The purpose of the Navy headquarters in this battle was to eliminate Lucifer. But Jinbei knew that the Navy headquarters wanted to eliminate Lucifer and Whitebeard at the same time. Beard. By helping Whitebeard, Jinbei is becoming an enemy of the Navy headquarters. They will never tolerate it. "Don't thank me, Jinbei." Neptune said, "Our Fishman Island owes Whitebeard a lot. It is natural to repay our gratitude. It's a pity that as a king, I am too cowardly to be able to add strength to him." "No, Your Majesty the King, it is enough for you to have this heart." As he said that, Jinbei picked up the wine bowl and drank up a bowl of wine. "Your Majesty the King, I will take the first step." After finishing speaking, Jinbei stood up and walked directly outside the palace. Outside Ryago Palace, all members of the Sun Pirates were already waiting here. Following Jinbei's order, the entire Sun Pirates immediately set off for the New World. In the first half of the Grand Line, there is an island with 3 no islands. As a 3 no island, the order is very chaotic, full of killing and bloodshed all the time. However, not long ago, the arrival of a person changed the situation on the island. He is Green Pepper, a legendary pirate from the old days and one of the new kings of the Shishibukai. The island occupied by Qingjiao was used as a temporary base, and all the lawless elements on the island were suppressed by him. "Grandpa, we received a letter from the Navy headquarters, asking you to participate in the all-out war against the Netherworld pirates." Lao Cai grabbed a bat and delivered the letter to Qingjiao. After reading the letter, Qingjiao looked solemn and silent. "Grandpa, do you want to join the war?" The news that the Netherworld pirates are about to go to war with the Whitebeard pirates has spread all over the world. At this moment, every corner of the world is discussing the upcoming war. Even if we don't join the war, we can't hide. Qingjiao looked at the sea outside the window and felt that an unprecedented powerful wave was sweeping in. In front of this wave, no matter where you are or where you are hiding, you cannot avoid it. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at Westlake. Chapter 195. He had only seen such a wave once. That was the day that Pirate King Roger was executed many years ago. At that historic moment, Roger's words before his death ushered in the era of great pirates. Since then, the wave of the times has swept the world, and no one can avoid it. Qingjiao has lived for decades, living from the old era to the new era. No one knows the significance of the next battle better than him. Withdrawing his gaze, Qingjiao said, "You stay here, I will go alone." "What? How can that work?" Lao Cai and Abu said hurriedly. "There's nothing you can't do, just obey my orders." Qingjiao showed an unprecedented serious expression and gave a strong order. "After the war is over, if I don't come back, you will immediately lead the Babao Navy back to the Kingdom of Flowers. Lao Cai, from this moment on, you are the backbone of the Babao Navy." Qingjiao seemed to be entrusting the funeral arrangements. In the upcoming war of the century, he was not sure that he would come back alive. In an inconspicuous small-town tavern on the Grand Line, Blackbeard read the newspaper, bit into the cherry pie, and grinned. "Ha ha ha ha, are you finally starting? I have to act quickly." Under the pursuit of a dragnet, Blackbeard finally managed to escape back to the first half of the Grand Line, temporarily escaping from the pursuit. Lucifer declared war on Whitebeard, which greatly reduced Blackbeard's pressure. Fight, fight, the more intense the fight, the better. When you both lose, it will be my era. Blackbeard's ambition has not weakened, but has increased infinitely after obtaining the dark fruit. He knows that he is not Lucifer's opponent yet. But Blackbeard has confidence in the dark fruit and his alien body. He believes that as long as he will get more powerful fruit abilities, and he will be able to defeat Lucifer sooner or later. By then, the world will be his. Bang! The door of the tavern was pushed open, and a giant strong man walked in, and at the same time there was a loud laugh. "Vee ha 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 ha, found you, Captain Teach. The boat is ready. When will we set off?" The person who came was the fighting champion Giza's Badges. Behind Badges, there were three other people, Van Oka, Lafitte, and Poison Q. In the original book, these people were the original crew of Blackbeard. Now these people were still found by Blackbeard. Everything seemed to be destined. "Thief, ha 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 ha, let's go then." Blackbeard swallowed the last piece of cherry pie, stood up and left the tavern. The four badgers followed him. The group of people walked in the middle of the street with swagger, and passers-by gave way. In the first half of the Grand Line, the five of them were almost invincible. The presence. Admiralty Headquarters, Marineford, Marshal's Office. Warring States sat in the Marshal's seat with an expressionless face. He is waiting for news. War will break out soon, and all pre-war matters must be done to the best of their ability to ensure nothing goes wrong. It can increase the chance of winning by 0.0001%, and Sengoku will do his best to do it. Garp, just wait, I will avenge you soon. Warring States looked at the bag of senbei on the table and thought in his heart, I will definitely make that bastard Lucifer pay the price he deserves. Since Garp died in the battle, no one has forced his way into his office to drink tea, eat senbei, or make noise with him. Looking back on the past, tears appeared in Sengoku's eyes. He was very sad. But the more sad he became, the murderous intention of Sengoku becomes stronger. From the day Garp died in the battle, Sengoku has been suppressing the murderous intention in his heart. All of this is to end the relationship with Lucifer. Bang! Suddenly, a rear admiral pushed the door open and walked in. Enter. Reporting to the Marshal, the Shishibukai Hawkeye, Ching Chiao, Big Bear, and the two new additions have all confirmed to participate in the war, but the Empress Boya Hancock has not replied yet. There is also Jinbei, who has made it clear that he will not accept this call-up order. At the same time, the Sun Pirates under Jinbei have disappeared. Are 5 of the 7 people here? Sengoku's eyes narrowed, exuding a cold light. He was not very satisfied with this result, but it was also expected. It can only be said to be careless. Because of Lucifer, the King's Shishibukai suffered heavy losses and suffered heavy losses. Naval headquarters, it took a lot of effort to replenish the number of people. The Sengoku Warring States period had known for a long time that the 3 new members would join the war. When new people join, they must do some merit to secure their position in the Shishibukai. Dakshin is loyal to the Navy, so it goes without saying. Eagle, needless to say, he was bored and probably came here to kill time. Warring States is not afraid that he will take advantage of the situation. There are many strong men on the battlefield. With his eagle-eyed character, he will definitely take action. Although the Empress is a woman, Warring States knows her very well. The ability. The Pirate Empress, who has awakened the domineering color and domineering spirit, is very powerful. Although she has not expressed her position now, Sengoku can still fight for it. But Jinbei, who made it clear that he refused to participate in the war, undoubtedly annoyed Sengoku. Did that bastard Jinbei hang out with Whitebeard? Sengoku is very aware of the relationship between Jinbei and Whitebeard. He suddenly disappeared at this critical moment. He must have gone to the New World to help Whitebeard. Sengoku looked at the rear admiral and said contact Flying Squirrel and asked him to continue to win over the pirate empress. And at the same time let her know the consequences of disobeying the summons, and try to win her over as much as possible. Time waits for no one, give her one more day at most. If she still doesn't agree after one day, she will be stripped of her title as Shishibukai. Yes, Your Majesty Marshal. The rear admiral saluted respectfully and immediately exited the office. While all parties were taking action, the 5 old stars in the Holy Land were not idle either. Although the war has not yet begun, a tense atmosphere has enveloped the entire world. Pangu City, between powers. The war is about to begin. Should we be able to completely eliminate that evil kid this time, right? The curly-haired 5 old star raised his eyebrows and looked at the people next to him. The Navy headquarters has 200,000 elites, plus the Whitebeard pirates and the red-haired pirates. This kind of combat power is enough to destroy the entire world. Absolutely. The sword-wielding 5 old stars pulled out the katana in their hands, and the cold light was cold. You can't relax, you have to make sure nothing goes wrong. The blonde 5 old stars were holding a stack of bounty orders. On them were Lucifer and various members of the Netherworld pirates. Let the CP people also take action. The long-haired 5 old star slowly opened his eyes, and his eyes exuded infinite killing intent. Any measures that may increase the chance of winning must be taken to completely eliminate the possibility of Lucifer surviving. The bald 5 old star said solemnly. But with so many troops sent out, the Navy headquarters and the world government will be too empty, right? The curly-haired 5-year-old star hesitated. The Navy headquarters sent out all the troops, and even the CPS were sent out. The Navy headquarters and Marijoya will be in an unprecedented weak state. If someone invades Marijoya at this time, the consequences will be disastrous. That's right, that bastard Lucifer is very likely to make trouble in the east and in the west. If he invades the Holy Land while we are sending out all our troops, the consequences will be more than worth the loss. Several 5 old stars hesitated. In the final analysis, they are still afraid of death. The older people get, the more afraid of death they are. They are already very old. And they have high positions. As the masters of the world, they have overwhelming power and cannot enjoy their glory and wealth. To the end. No one wants to die. They have not lived enough yet. Just in case, you can order the heavenly dragons in the Holy Land to temporarily leave Marijoa and go to the Holy Palace to take shelter temporarily. Even if Lucifer comes, he can only find an empty shell of the Holy Land, which will have no impact on the overall situation. On the contrary, if he breaks away from the army, the Netherworld pirates will suffer all casualties. Well, that's a great idea. Just do it. The devil Lucifer and the Netherworld pirates will definitely eradicate this group of garbage from the sea this time. The blonde 5 old stars swung out the bounty orders in their hands. The sword-wielding 5 old stars suddenly drew their swords, and with the light of the sword, they chopped all the bounty orders into pieces. Endless murderous aura erupted from the 5 old stars, shrouding them between the entire power. Murderous aura rushed out of Pangu City and scattered to every corner of Marijoya. On the Holy Land, the guards, naval soldiers, slaves, and celestial dragons who sensed this murderous aura were all so frightened that their whole bodies shivered and shivered. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 196. New World, Desert Island, also known as Infinite Desert Continent, Life Forbidden Zone, and Death End. This island is deserted, with no birds or animals. There are almost no traces of life on the entire island, only endless desert, rocks, and gobi. The island is scorched by the scorching sun all year round, with the highest daytime temperature reaching 70 degrees, making the living environment extremely difficult. People with insufficient strength cannot survive a day on the island, so it is called a restricted area of life and a dead end of death. This is the battlefield Lucifer chose. The two armies are fighting in the death zone. Even if they don't die in the hands of the enemy, they may die in the cruel environment of the island. On the endless sea, the Netherworld Pirates fleet and the Whitebeard Pirates fleet arrived at the desert island at the same time. Captain, the whereabouts of the Whitebeard Pirates have been discovered. On the main ship Netherworld, Cavendish shouted with a telescope. Everyone looked at the sea level in the distance, and several black spots appeared there. As time went by, the black spots became more and more numerous and larger. It quickly turned into pirate ships. There were more than 100 pirate ships, and the total number of people was no less than 20,000. Of course, the strength of the Netherworld pirates was no less than that of the Whitebeard pirates. This time, Lucifer a total of 30,000 troops were brought. Seeing the appearance of the Whitebeard pirates, everyone in the Netherworld pirates stood ready. At the same time, the people of the Whitebeard pirates also discovered traces of the Netherworld pirates. "Dad, Lucifer shows up!" The observer on the Moby Dick shouted loudly. All the pirates on the main ship walked to the side of the ship at the same time and looked in the direction of the Netherworld pirates. "Dad, the Nether pirates have more people than us," said a pirate. "Huh, fighting relies on strength, not numbers. Without strength, a million-strong army is nothing more than that," Foil Swordbeista said with a cold snort. "Ha ha ha ha, that's a good point." Buffalo Atmos laughed loudly. "Little ones, let them come back today without any return." "There is no return. Destroy the Nether pirates. Kill." The loud shouts of killing echoed on the sea. Even though they were thousands of meters away, Lucifer and the others could clearly hear it. Anila grinned and said, "Are these bastards really arrogant? Captain, do you want me to give them a meeting gift?" Electric light flashed on Eniro's body. As long as he wanted to, he could launch an attack even at this distance. Endless thunder bombarded him, and if kept, the Whitebeard pirates would suffer heavy casualties. "Don't worry, just wait." Lucifer shook a glass of red wine gently and said calmly, "Bulu buru buru. Bulu buru buru." Suddenly, the urgent voice of the phone rang. After Baby 5 connected, a pirate's call came from the other side immediately. Shout. "Captain Lucifer, the whereabouts of the naval fleet was discovered in Sea Area 3. Navy." Sure enough, they came. 11 Lu and others' eyes turned cold. They are not fools. Naturally, they knew that the Navy would take advantage of this opportunity to take advantage. "How many are they?" Baby 5 asked. The pirate responded, "We did a rough count. There are no less than 150 warships in the Navy fleet. There are more behind, but we can't see clearly. What came this time were all the Navy's highest standard warships. 150 warships of the highest specifications, each carrying 1,000 people, totaling at least 150,000 people. If we include those in the rear, it is roughly estimated that the total strength of the Navy reaches 200,000. Everyone instantly calculated the total strength of the Navy. There are so many people. Zilio of the Rain gave a bloodthirsty smile. Humph, the more people come, the better. With more people, killing is more enjoyable. The evil King Pizarro grinned. A bunch of stinky men, so rude. I just want to fight with the young and handsome Navy, said Katrin Dime. Come on, ugly woman, you didn't show any mercy when you killed people. Everyone rolled their eyes crazily and expressed disdain for Katrin. Generally speaking, the atmosphere of the Netherworld pirates was very relaxed, and there was no fear in the face of 200,000 Marines. On the contrary, everyone was a little gloating. Lucifer also showed a strange look. Smile, the more people from the Navy, the better. Today's decisive battle of the century in the restricted area of life will definitely be infinitely exciting. At this moment, Jack jumped down from the observation deck and said, "Captain, the Whitebeard pirates have sent a light message." "Good." Lucifer nodded, "Send my order and land the entire army. No one is allowed to attack without my order." The order was issued, and the Nether Pirates' fleet began to approach the desert island, and then landed in the north of the island. At the same time, the Whitebeard pirates landed in the south of the desert island. Although the desert island is deserted, it has a large area, even if it can accommodate hundreds of people. An army of 10,000 was more than enough. In the end, the two parties faced off in the center of the island. Today, the temperature on the desert island was not very high, only 60 degrees. The bottom pirates were also in good condition, but they were sweating like water. That's all. Such high temperature and harsh environment will naturally have no impact on Lucifer, Whitebeard, and the two cotters. Where is Lucifer? In the Whitebeard pirates, Ace saw the Nether pirates' army and almost couldn't hold it in anymore and forced his way out. Fortunately, Marco suppressed him and he didn't have any impulse. "Don't worry, wait for Dad's order first." Chiang. 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 The sound of swords sounded, and the pirates of the Whitebeard pirates separated a path, allowing Whitebeard to come to the front. The huge size of 6.66 meters is very conspicuous and full of domineering. "Goo la 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 la, where's the little Lucifer? Where is he? If you come to me, you won't be too scared to show up, right?" Whitebeard laughed boldly, and his voice spread throughout the two armies, ringing in the ears of tens of thousands of people. Huh! A strong wind rolled up in the sky, and Lucifer fell from the sky and landed in front of the two armies. "Here I am, Whitebeard." Lucifer crossed his arms and looked equally domineering. "Whitebeard, is this the first time we meet? You are really old, you can't even hold a knife anymore, right?" "Goo la 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 la, he is indeed an arrogant brat." Seeing Lucifer appear, Whitebeard laughed again, "Even if I'm old, it's still easy to beat you up as a brat. Before the war begins, little Lucifer, do you want to consider becoming my son?" As soon as the words fell, the air became dead silent. The strong wind on the desert island blew in front of the two armies, leaving a trace of embarrassment. Marco covered his face with his right hand, and Baista, Jose, and others around him were also speechless. They did not expect that, my father's hobby of collecting suns will explode at this time. Lucifer's face was expressionless, indifferent to Whitebeard's unique hobby. "You seem to be in good health as you speak with great energy. This puts me at ease, otherwise if I kill a seriously ill Whitebeard, the world will laugh at me for bullying the old, weak, sick, and disabled. Go ahead, come on, if you can, little Lucifer." Whitebeard smiled ferociously, and his overlord-colored domineering energy exploded instantly. Blood-red overlord-colored domineering energy swept towards the Netherworld pirates like a tsunami. Little trick. Lucifer's eyes were red, and he also activated the overlord-colored haki. The same red haki exploded, and collided with Whitebeard's overlord-colored haki. The two people's overlord-colored haki formed two semicircular impact shields, colliding with each other. At the junction countless black and red lightnings erupted, crisscrossing. Wherever the lightning struck, the earth cracked and rocks were shattered. Finally, the overlord's domineering power soared into the sky, reaching straight into the sky, directly penetrating the deep clouds over the desert island, breaking through a hole with a diameter of more than 1,000, a big hole in the rice. Boom! A loud explosion shook the sky. Lucifer's overlord-colored domineering force broke through Whitebeard's overlord-colored domineering force and crushed it into powder. On the other side, Whitebeard's overlord-colored domineering force was broken and he involuntarily retreated. One step, looking extremely serious. Whitebeard, it seems you are really old. Lucifer smiled coldly, raised his right hand and lowered it gently. Kill, destroy the Whitebeard pirates. As soon as he finished speaking, the 30,000 troops behind Lucifer immediately rushed out and headed towards the Whitebeard pirates. Kill, destroy the Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard's head belongs to me. After today, the Whitebeard pirates will disappear completely. Quack, quack, quack. The cry of killing resounded throughout the land. Once the Netherworld pirates took action, it was earth-shattering and earth-shaking. Whitebeard naturally would not retreat and also gave the order to attack. Let's go together and destroy the Netherworld pirates. Kill. The 20,000 troops of the Whitebeard pirates also suddenly rushed out and fought with the Netherworld pirates. The war was about to break out and became intense in an instant. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 197. Lucifer. In the crowd, Ace let out a wild roar and charged towards Lucifer. A huge flaming snake shot out from his right arm, clearing away the pirates ahead. Get out of my way. When Ace saw Lucifer, infinite hatred burst out from his eyes. At this moment, he was like a mad beast, with only Lucifer in his eyes and no one else. All those who stood in front of him, they were all burned to ashes by the scorching flames. Hey, Shiliu, is that the person who escaped from his men? Enilu saw Ace at a glance, with a hint of ridicule at the corner of his mouth. Uzhiliu's face was frosty, and a red light flashed in his eyes. I will erase this mistake right away. With a flash of blood, Shiliu turned directly into a ball of flowing blood and shuttled across the battlefield. All pirates who were touched by the blood along the way had their blood drained and turned into dry mummies. Blood sickle attacks. A round of blood slashes shot out of the air, slashing Ace dozens of meters away. Ace flew out upside down, knocking a group of pirates off their feet. Cough cough cough. Ace got up from the ground and spit out a mouthful of blood. Seeing Shiliu, he also gritted his teeth and his murderous intention increased greatly. It's you bastard. There are 3 people that Ace hates the most in his life. Not to mention his biological father Roger. Lucifer, who killed Garp and ordered the destruction of the Spade Pirates, ranks first. Hiramuame, who kills people himself, ranks second. Shiliu bit her cigar and blew out a smoke ring. Kid, I let you escape last time, but you won't be so lucky this time. Ace spat out a mouthful of bloody phlegm. If you can do it, come and try it. Fire punch. Ace's right arm turned into flames, and a huge flaming fist roared out, rapidly heating the surrounding air. Shiliu smiled bloodthirstily, and slashed with thunderstorm fury, blood-killing slash. The huge blood slash and the fire fist bombarded each other. The blood was evaporated by the flames, and the flames were split by the blood slash. There was a loud bang, and the goblet of fire was completely torn. The blood slash continued to cast out, flying into Ace's chest. Boom! At the critical moment, a ball of green-blue flames fell from the sky, completely destroying Shiliu's blood slash. Marco flapped his wings and came to Ace's side, with a solemn tone, Ace, don't be careless, this guy is very strong. You stand down and leave him to me to deal with. Ace is still too immature after all. Even if he has natural abilities, he is no match for a big shot like Aim no Shiru who has been famous for a long time. No, Marco. Ace refused, there is only this person, and I must defeat him with my own hands. Ace, don't be so impulsive. I'm not acting on impulse. Ace glanced at Lucifer in the distance, gritted his teeth and said, I already understand, it's impossible for me to defeat Lucifer. So this is the only person I must defeat with my own hands. Looking at Shiliu of the Rain, Ace's eyes ignited with fire, and the temperature of the flames erupting from his body increased sharply again. Marco took a deep look at Ace and knew that Ace had made up his mind. Now that you've decided, go for it. Since a man has made a choice, to stop him is to despise him. Unparalleled rice cake blade bomb. Boom. 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 Suddenly, countless jet-black bullets came, turning Marco into a hornet's nest in an instant. Marco was indifferent to the fact that there were holes in his body, and just turned around and looked at Katakuri. A blue flame ignited at the wound, and all wounds healed. The healing ability of the phoenix fruit is extremely incredible, more powerful than the natural elemental form. The natural elemental form cannot resist attacks containing armed domineering, and will be physically injured. But the phoenix fruit can resist all attacks and is full of attacks with armed haki. It does not dodge the attack, but withstands the attack and then heals the wound. So even if Marco faces Katakuri's armed haki bullet, no need to avoid. Katakuri, long time no see. Marco glared at Katakuri and greeted Katakuri. Originally, Marco was the second in command of the Whitebeard pirates, and Katakuri was the second in command of the Big Mom pirates. The two had fought in the past. Many times. Katakuri retracted the rice cake machine gun and said in a deep voice, "Yes, it's been a long time indeed." Marco said, "I didn't expect that we would meet under such circumstances. Lucifer killed Big Mom, but you still work for him. This is not like you." Katakuri did not respond, but said lightly, "Stop talking nonsense and let's do it." Boom. Boom. Katakuri and Marco attacked at the same time. Katakuri was very fast, and the black shadow disappeared in a flash. Marco turned into a ball of blue flames and collided head-on with Katakuri. Together, a terrifying shockwave erupted, instantly shattering the earth, causing strong winds to blow in all directions. The two number 2 figures of the Imperial Regiment fought together again after a long absence. Lucifer and Whitebeard have not yet taken action. Since it is a total war, the strongest boss will certainly not end up at the beginning. Red Earl Rider walked behind Lucifer and said calmly, "With your strength, it shouldn't be difficult to defeat Whitebeard, right? Why haven't you taken action yet?" Lucifer smiled faintly, "The war ends too soon, it won't be fun anymore. Besides, how can the performance end before all the actors have arrived? It is indeed not difficult for Lucifer to defeat Whitebeard. But the Navy fleet has not arrived yet. What if Whitebeard is defeated now and the Navy fleet escapes? Also, Lucifer wants to catch more than just the Navy. There is another big fish that hasn't appeared yet." Boom. A loud noise suddenly came from the battlefield. I saw Diamond Jose punching the rocky ground, and his strong wrist force exploded, instantly cracking the ground. The shock wave formed a ring. Spreading, the ground cracked into a circle. Then, Jose dug out a huge rock with a diameter of more than 300 meters and slammed it towards Lucifer. "If it can stop you, try it." With Jose's roar, huge rocks rose into the sky, directly blocking the sun. Everyone looked up, only to feel a small mountain falling on their heads. Hey, is this too big?" The evil King Pizarro glanced at the boulder above his head, revealing a pair of dead fish eyes. "That's right, this is not cute at all. I hate this kind of man who can only use brute force." Caitlin Daime glanced at Josie and lost interest in teasing him. Red Earl Rider stepped forward and suddenly pulled out the long knife from his waist. Whoosh! In an instant, more than 20 sword energy pierced the air. When it came out, it instantly split the boulder as big as a hill into powder. Seeing that the opponent's trick was cracked, the morale of the Netherworld pirates was greatly boosted. Such a huge boulder was chopped into pieces in an instant. Red Earl, he is Red Earl. The super pirate of the old era, the equal of Dad. Why would such a terrifying person turn to Lucifer? Seeing the Red Earl standing next to Lucifer, all the members of the Whitebeard pirates felt a sense of fear. The name of a person, the shadow of a tree. This is an existence that is equal to their father, and they are afraid of the Red Earl. Is born. Don't be afraid, stupid sons. He's just an old guy. Whitebeard roared, suppressing the fear of the pirates under his command. His eyes crossed the battlefield and locked onto Lucifer and the Red Earl. Ryder, I didn't expect you to be so humbled by others, and with a snot-nosed brat. No matter how strong Lucifer is, he is still a snot-nosed brat in Whitebeard's eyes. After all, the age gap between the two is there. To be blunt, Lucifer's father may not have even been born when Whitebeard was wandering the sea. Ryder smiled indifferently. Everything in the world is unpredictable, and I didn't expect that I would reach this point. Huh, arrogant guy. Whitebeard laughed and scolded, with a cold light in his eyes. It has to be said that the lineup of the Netherworld pirates puts Whitebeard under a lot of pressure. Not to mention Lucifer, just a Red Earl who has regained his youthful peak combat power makes Whitebeard very nervous. He had a headache. After all, he was old and his fighting power was no longer what it used to be. Boom! 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 Suddenly, there were roars on the battlefield, and the entire desert island shook. Everyone looked up and saw that I saw a huge figure appearing behind the Whitebeard pirates. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 198. He was over 30 and nearly 40 meters tall. Every step he took left a hole on the ground, which was his footprint. The huge body brings a huge sense of oppression, which makes the faces of many pirates change drastically. Oh! Are they ancient giants? Lucifer narrowed his eyes. He has already seen the giants. Ordinary giants do not have such a huge body. Only the ancient giants have them. At 38 meters tall, he is really big. With such a huge body, Lucifer had to look up to him. Oz, kill them. Chop them to pieces. Let them see how awesome you are. The morale of the members of the Whitebeard pirates was greatly boosted, and they roared one after another. Oz took the lead, holding a huge machete. With one slash, it was like a broom sweeping away the dust, and hundreds of members of the Netherworld pirates were knocked away. Oz he doesn't know how to use armed color haki, but his racial bloodline gives him extremely powerful power. His slashes are stronger than those of many high-level armed color haki users. This is the so-called qualitative change in power. He can defeat all methods with one force. Oz rushed forward, and the weak pirates rushing in front couldn't stop him. Hey, who goes up to stop that big man? If he was allowed to open a gap in the battlefield, the Netherworld pirates would be disgraced. Anilu used Thunder Dragon to electrocute a group of pirates into cokes and said, "I'm not free now. Which of you is free?" The evil King Pizarro was blocked by Diamond Jose. The battle between the two was fierce and they could not escape. Hey, let me go up there, a mere ancient giant is nothing. Caesar laughed wildly, and as he spoke, he turned into gas and flew towards Oz. To be honest, not many people in the Nether Pirates really took Oz seriously. Although the giants are huge and have terrifying power, they are huge, their size makes them slow and sluggish. They make them easy targets. Gas laser gun. Caesar opened his mouth wide, and a blue gas laser shot out of the air, spanning thousands of meters in an instant. Just when it was about to hit Oz, a slash came through the air, blocking the laser. Gas bastard, where are you looking? A pirate captain wearing a helmet jumped into the air and slashed Caesar down with a knife. This was a pirate captain under Whitebeard. There are not only powerful captains in the Whitebeard pirates, but also captains affiliated with the pirate groups. All of them are famous figures in the New World, and their bounties are all worth more than 500 million Baileys. Boom! Oz charged forward again, and hundreds of pirates were killed by him again. What a hassle! Lucifer shook his head speechlessly, raised his fingers and snapped his fingers. Bad wolf, it's up to you. As soon as he finished speaking, a black shadow immediately fell from the sky and landed heavily on the battlefield. When the black shadow landed, a powerful shockwave erupted, knocking all the pirates from all directions away and raising dust all over the sky. Countless pirates closed their eyes, covering their faces with their hands. When the dust cleared, they saw a mountain over 100 meters high appeared in front of them. As their eyes moved upward, everyone in the Whitebeard pirates was stunned. They discovered that this was not a mountain, but a mountain. It's a person, a supergiant with a body size of nearly 200 meters. Ah, no, I was discovered. San Juan Wolf covered his face, as if he was afraid of being discovered. But unfortunately, he could cover his face, but not his body. San Juan Wolf was also from the giant race, but he seemed to have, due to a genetic mutation, the body size is as high as 180 meters. You know, ordinary giants are only 20-30 meters. Ancient giants are only 30-40 meters. The 180-meter high wolf is 5-6 times the size of ordinary giants. Are you kidding me? How could there be such a big person? This is not a myth or legend, nor are we dreaming. How can one defeat such a big man? The pirates of the Whitebeard pirates were all breaking out in cold sweat and their legs were shaking. An Oz who was less than 40 meters tall could boost their morale, but now a 180-meter wolf can make them fall into despair. Bang! 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 There are bold pirates who fire bullets and cannonballs at the wolf, but unfortunately, neither bullets nor cannonballs can hurt the wolf's skin. Like Oz and many giants, the wolf can't learn. He knows armed color and knowledge color haki. But his innately powerful body brings extremely powerful defense. Even high-level armed color haki attacks may not be able to break through the wolf's defense. Hey, wolf, don't be stunned. Lucifer shouted in a low voice. At your command, Captain Lucifer. The evil wolf stood up, and his huge palm suddenly fell down. Boom! The ground shook, and hundreds of pirates were beaten into a pulp by the evil wolf. The evil wolf used both hands to tear apart the Whitebeard pirates. The formation created a bloody path. As the battle became more and more intense, the entire battlefield had turned into a meat grinder. Pirates died all the time. San Juan Wolf, a really great guy, has arrived. Of course Whitebeard knows San Juan Wolf. Speaking of which, the wolf is Whitebeard's predecessor. When Whitebeard first came out, the wolf was already famous throughout the world. The giants have a long lifespan, and they have lived for decades. For the evil wolf, it is just a journey in life. Damn bastard, come at me if you can, but don't attack my subordinates. The captain of the 7th Division, Riku, swung the mace hammer and hit the wolf with one hammer. The wolf's skin was dented, and then the fat flicked away, and the hammer flew away. It hurts. The evil wolf had no expression on his face, but he said the most exaggerated words. Then he landed a palm and knocked Lakyo away like a fly. Stop, I'll deal with you. Oz rushed from a distance, holding a huge machete in a ready stance. Then he suddenly jumped up and slashed at the wolf's knee. Boom! The wolf took a step back, dodged Oz's slash, and at the same time gave a backhand palm, knock Oz flying hundreds of meters. Puff! Ha 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 ha! No, I'm going to laugh. Sorry, I really, ha 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 ha. I usually don't smile unless I can't help it. Ha 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 ha. The members of the Netherworld pirates were laughing loudly, and the laughter spread throughout the battlefield. Lucifer watched the scene from a distance and almost laughed. This is what the legend says, you jump up and barely hit my knees. It's already very funny for ordinary people to do this kind of action. Now it's even more ridiculous for an ancient giant to do this kind of action. No wonder the younger brother can't help it. In contrast, Whitebeard High the thieves' faces were ashen. This scene was really insulting. Damn it, those bastards from the Netherworld pirates are going too far. I'll go up and kill them. I can't bear it anymore. The members of the Whitebeard pirates all had fierce faces and red eyes as they charged forward. Suddenly, the war became more intense. It seems that your people are not very good, right? Amaji Shilio bit her cigar and smiled coldly. In front of him, Ace was panting violently, breathing very quickly. On his chest, there was a gaping wound, and blood was gushing out. Fire Fist Ace, you have become a lost dog. Even if you join the Whitebeard pirates, you still can't take revenge. A man who cannot avenge his companions is a waste. With a captain like you, your companions are really pathetic. Although they were originally a bunch of trash. Zilio's moves are not only cruel, but his words are also extremely sharp, like long swords, piercing Ace's internal organs. Shut up, you are not allowed to insult my companions. Ace roared angrily, and the flames on his body erupted again. Circles of spiral flames spread from his feet and spread outward. Then the endless flames merged together to form a huge fireball, which Ace held between his fingers. Above. This fireball is like a sun, emitting endless heat. Great Flame Ring, Emperor Yan. Ace holds a huge fireball and suddenly hits Shilio of the Rain. This is Ace's most powerful killing move. One move can destroy a city. Facing the attack of the killing move, Shilio does not retreat but advances. With a big hand, the battlefield a torrent of blood flew from the top. Those were the blood from the corpses, and now they have become Shilio's weapons. Netherworld Sea of Blood. Shilio slashed angrily, and the torrent of blood instantly turned into a huge half-moon-shaped slash that shot through the air, and collided head-on with Ace's Flame Emperor. Boom! The extreme moves collided, and a powerful shockwave erupted. Blood and flames each accounted for half. In the world, the two forces melted into each other, and the aftermath swept thousands of meters around. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 199. Boom. 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 The sound of artillery fire and bombing resounded through the sky. Lucifer crossed his arms and stood on a boulder, looking at the battlefield below. The war has lasted for more than an hour, and Lucifer has maintained this posture. As the battle situation changed, Lucifer's face became more and more beautiful. In contrast, the white-bearded man standing with a knife in the distance has an increasingly serious expression. Just because, without Lucifer, Whitebeard, and Red Count taking action, the Nether Pirates had already gained the upper hand. In terms of high-level combat power, Lucifer has Vabel, Eniru, Katakuri, Shilio of the Rain, Pizarro, Chote, Katrin, Katakuri, Quinn, Golden Emperor, and Smokey, Bad Wolf and others are all at the level of Quasi-General. On the other hand, the Whitebeard pirates have too few high-level combat capabilities. Whether it is the pirates with a bounty of over 500 million, or the underlying combat power, the Netherworld pirates are superior to the Whitebeard pirates. It seems natural that the Whitebeard pirates are at a disadvantage. Kid. Go to hell. Hero of the Rain struck a bloody slash, hitting Ace's chest and sending him flying thousands of meters. Ace shot backwards and flew directly to the back of the battlefield. After he was buried in the rubble, he remained motionless for a long time. After suffering such a heavy blow, even if Ace did not die, he was already seriously injured and his combat power was at a loss. On the other side, San Juan Wolf swung his fist as big as a hill and hit Oz with one punch, knocking out his huge body. Flying away. The steel armor used by Oz to protect his body was shattered directly, he vomited blood, and knocked a group of pirates off their feet. After Ace, Oz was also defeated. At this time, the evil wolf had not activated the stone fruit ability. The battle between Katakuri and Marco was fierce, but the strength of the two was almost the same, and it was impossible to tell the winner for a while. The evil King Pizarro used rock berries to crisscross the battlefield and clear an open space on the battlefield. Anyone who came close, his pirates, whether they were enemies or companions, were all burned to ashes. The terrifying power of rock berries was fully revealed. His opponent was Diamond Jose. Jose could barely hold off against Pizarro by relying on the defensive power of his diamond body. But it has been suppressed, and defeat is only a matter of time. Enero's opponent is the foil sword Bista. Under the fierce attack of thunder and lightning, Bista can only barely defend and cannot make an effective counterattack. Like Jose, they were also suppressed throughout the whole process. Elsewhere, many of the weak captains of the Whitebeard pirates had already lost. The captain of the 6th Division, Bram Ank, was defeated by Babel. The captain of the 7th Division, Riccio, was sniped by Simon. His chest was penetrated, and he was seriously injured and lost. The captain of the 13th Division, Buffalo Artemis, was defeated by Cavendish. The captain of the 14th Division, Speedokill, was defeated by Jack. In addition to these, the sea under the Whitebeard pirates, more than a dozen pirate captains have been defeated and have lost their fighting power. If Whitebeard does not make any move, the Whitebeard pirates will be completely defeated in this way and completely collapse. Warring States Marshal, Lucifer, and Whitebeard have gone to war. On the sea, a large navy fleet stayed outside the desert island. On the main ship, a navy man came behind the Warring States period and reported respectfully. "Don't talk nonsense, how is the situation on the island?" Warring States asked coldly. "The battle is fierce. The Netherworld pirates and the Whitebeard pirates have already rushed out. However, only cotters from both sides have joined the battle now, and Lucifer and Whitebeard have not officially fought yet. However, the Netherworld pirates have the upper hand, and the Whitebeard pirates have already shown their defeat. Judging from the current situation, the Whitebeard pirates won't last long." The Navy soldier's report made Marshal Sengoku look gloomy. Although he knew that the Whitebeard pirates were no match for the Netherworld pirates, he did not expect that the Whitebeard pirates would be so vulnerable. It had only been an hour since the war started. It's almost too late to hold on. Although Whitebeard hasn't made a move yet, Lucifer and Red Earl haven't made a move either. According to the current situation, even if Whitebeard joins the fight, Lucifer will still win. Oh, how scary, is Whitebeard actually going to lose? General Kizaru stood aside and spoke with his lips curled up. After a while, the power of the Nether pirates has indeed expanded to a level beyond our imagination. General Ching Pheasant also looked solemn, without any sign of laziness. "I have always heard about the power of the 4 emperors Lucifer. Now it seems that the real Lucifer is more terrifying than the rumors." Admiral Fujitora opened his eyelids forcefully, but only a pair of pure white pupils were revealed, looking towards the desert island ahead. Although he couldn't see anything, a lot of human aura appeared in his mind. Fujitora's sight and hearing the domineering aura is so strong that it has enveloped the entire desert island. The murderous aura on the island has been locked by him, and the aura belonging to Lucifer made Fujitora feel palpitations. This cannot continue, the Navy must take action. Sengoku originally wanted to wait until both the Netherworld pirates and the Whitebeard pirates were defeated before he joined the battlefield and benefited. But judging from the current situation, neither Lucifer nor Whitebeard plan to let the Navy pick up the slack. Opportunity. The reason why the two of them never took action was to prevent the Navy from stabbing them in the back. Joining the battlefield now may cause hostility between the two pirates. Lieutenant General He, the chief staff officer, said worriedly. "I can't control that much anymore." Sengoku's voice was cold, with endless killing intent in his eyes. "We cannot let the Netherworld pirates completely defeat the Whitebeard pirates, otherwise they will have the potential to win a great victory, and it will be even more impossible for us to destroy them. Pass my order, the whole navy will attack and land on the desert island. The target of killing enemies is mainly the netherworld pirates. Tell the Shishibukai to take action to contain or even kill the leaders of the netherworld pirates. In this battle, they must try their best, otherwise they will also be deprived of the title of Shishibukai. In order to eliminate Lucifer, Sengoku has put all his strength and pressure on everything. In this battle, there is no room for victory and no defeat, and there is no room for laziness. When giving the order, Sengoku glanced at Kizaru next to him, and he didn't mean it. It goes without saying. Kizaru's heart skipped a beat and he pretended not to see it. Although his expression remained calm, he only shouted MMP in his heart. What do you think I'm doing? Am I the kind of person who is lazy when paddling? I'm very diligent now. Don't work overtime every day. Is Faye okay? Why don't you look at Aokiji? He is also very lazy, okay. Just because he has been with you before and is your favorite next Navy Marshal, you treat him differently? Isn't it too unfair? Peace, or I should just resign. The profession of admiral is too dangerous, and you will lose your life if you are not careful. Kizaru really wants to go all out on the battlefield and kill everyone. But he is afraid of attracting Lucifer's attention. Huangzuru Kizaru knows that Lucifer is targeting him. As soon as he goes to the battlefield, Lucifer will see him immediately. Even after such a long time, Kizaru is still afraid of Lucifer. In several consecutive battles, Lucifer the fear has been deeply buried in Kizaru's subconscious. Set off. The Warring States period gave an order, and the naval fleet immediately sailed to the desert island, and then landed on the island. Large numbers of naval soldiers rushed to the island. At a glance, they looked like a dense group of ants. The battlefield is easy to find, just listen to the sound of artillery fire. The 6 Shishibukai were at the front of the formation and rushed to the battlefield first. The pirate Empress Hancock could not refuse the Navy's forced call in the end. Her arms could not twist her thighs, and she had to consider the daughter island. Is this an all-out war between the Netherworld pirates and the Whitebeard pirates? So amazing. Empress Hancock looked at the battlefield in front of her and couldn't help but express her feelings. Ah ho ho ho, if you live a long time, you will indeed be able to see different scenery. Qing Jiao touched his smooth head and sneered a few times. He had never seen such a large-scale war even when he was young. Hawkeye said nothing, and his cold eyes swept across the battlefield, looking for him. The opponent he wanted. In the end, Hawkeye's pupils shrank. His gaze passed through the entire battlefield and found Lucifer's location. Looking at Lucifer standing with his arms crossed, Hawkeye felt his blood boiling and goosebumps appeared all over his body. Strong the fighting spirit emerged from the bottom of his heart and spread throughout his body in an instant. Every cell in his body was cheering for joy, driving him to attack Lucifer. When he came back to his senses, his hand was already on the black knife. The handle is on. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at Westlake. Chapter 200. Kill. Warring States gave an order, and the 200,000 Navy immediately rushed out and killed the Netherworld pirates' camp. Has the Navy finally arrived? Lucifer looked at the Navy rushing over, with a cold light flashing in his eyes. On the other side, Whitebeard did not express any surprise at the appearance of the Navy. He had already expected the current situation. On this battlefield, the three parties were fighting. No matter which side is the enemy, there is no alliance. Although Whitebeard and the Navy's goal is to defeat Lucifer, they will not form an alliance. Yeah ha 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 ha, is it finally here? Enilu laughed ferociously, and endless thunder and lightning erupted from his body. The sky roared with thunder, and a thunderstorm rained down. Boom! 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 Thick thunder and lightning struck the Navy army, triggering a series of explosions. In just one attack, there were hundreds of people. The Navy was burned to ashes. Seeing this, Baista immediately launched an attack, but his sword energy had no effect on Enel. After absorbing the thunder, Enel had turned into a huge thunder god form. In the eyes of countless people, a huge god of thunder appeared on the battlefield. Phew! A golden ray penetrated the battlefield, hit the god of thunder, and caused an explosion. But the violent explosion was like a breeze, unable to shake the god of thunder. Today, Enel's strength has been things are different now. I haven't used the thunder god form all this time just to wait for this moment. Ha 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 ha, yellow monkey, your abilities are of no use to me, get out of here. Thunder god Eniru looked at Kizaru in the sky, condensed the thunder god trident in his hand, and shot out a thick thunder dragon. The thunder dragon roared across the sky and swallowed the general Kizaru in one bite. Roar! The thunder dragon kept roaring and crashed into the sky. Among the navy, there was a loud bang, and a huge fireball rose into the sky. Countless marines were hit by the explosion wave, leaving no corpses intact. In a flash of golden light, Kizaru shot out of the sea of fire and regained his physical form. He was not injured. No injuries, but looking at the dead marines around him, Kizaru's expression turned ugly. Angry? Angry. Come and hit me. Thunder god Eniru laughed wildly, and the huge thunder god's body turned into a beam of lightning and shot towards Kizaru. Kizaru did not retreat but advanced, and at the same time it turned into a golden light and shot out. The lightning and thunder met head-on in the sky together. The speed of the two of them was so fast that it was difficult to distinguish with the naked eye. Everyone could only see the flash of electric light and golden light in the sky, and every time they collided, a strong shock wave would erupt. On the other side, the evil King Pizarro saw Eniru I first approached General Kizaru, who also grinned. Kid, I don't have time to finish with you, so go down and drink milk first. Pizarro's right arm turned into the head of a magma beast, and he punched Diamond Josie in the chest. The terrifying power of the magma coupled with the powerful Luiying haki, even if Josie's body was diamond, he couldn't resist it. Diamond. His body was shattered inch by inch. Josie's chest was sunken and he vomited blood. He hit the back like a cannonball. Many members of the Whitebeard pirates were knocked upside down. Then, Pizarro jumped up and his lower body turned into lava, taking him soaring into the sky, flying into the sky. Ha 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 ha, Marines, suffer death. Meteor volcano. Pizarro's arms turned into lava, bombing out countless fists of lava, which poured down like heavy rain. 200,000 naval soldiers looked up at the sky, and suddenly felt that the sky was red. A scene like a natural disaster appeared in front of them, let their livers and gallbladders break apart. Rockberries, this is General Sakaski's rockberry fruiting ability. Damn pirates, I can't spare them. General Sakaski's ability must be regained. Use the general's ability to kill the navy. I will never allow General Sakaski's reputation to be damaged after his death. When the hawkish navy saw this scene, they were all furious. The vice admiral and the rear admiral immediately attacked and blocked the falling magma fist. But it is a pity that such a large-scale AoE group attack move cannot be blocked by the vice admiral and rear admiral. At the critical moment, an extreme cold air erupted from behind, sweeping across the sky instantly. The cold air flashed past, and the fiery red sky disappeared instantly. The volcanic fists burning with flames were all frozen into ordinary rocks. Aoki Pheasant appeared in the center of the battlefield, the whole body is covered with frost, and cold breath comes out of the mouth. Although I don't like Sakaski, I can't let you use his ability to kill soldiers. Ching Pheasant raised his hand and waved, 8 sharp ice spears suddenly shot out of the air and shot towards Pizarro. Is it a blue pheasant? You want to use such a trivial trick against me? Facing AO Pheasant's killing move, Pizarro did not dodge or dodge, letting the ice spear pierce his body. Whoosh! 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 Pizarro's body was instantly penetrated by the ice spear, leaving behind several large holes. But soon, magma flowed out of the holes, melting the ice spears and healing the wounds. Ching pheasant, such tricks are of no use to me. I didn't originally intend for this trick to be useful to you. Boom! Boom! The sound of breaking wind sounded, and Pizarro and General Aokiji disappeared at the same time. Then, a huge magma fist collided with a huge ice bird. Big fire! Ice cube violent pheasant mouth. Boom! Magma and ice collide head-on. The magma melts the ice, and the ice freezes the magma. The two extreme forces restrain each other, regardless of victory or defeat. The terrifying aura erupted from the two people, and instantly formed a strong wind that blew in all directions. The battlefield on the ground, a scene of half magma and half ice appeared. The surrounding pirates and navy fled one after another, and no one dared to stay on this battlefield. Among the crowd, Golden Emperor Tezzero saw Eniro and Pai when Solo met the admiral. He also laughed wildly with excitement. We can't let them take the limelight, it's time for me to take action. Boom! A powerful aura erupted from Tezzero, instantly covering the battlefield. Everyone was horrified, and saw that the ground under Tezzero's feet instantly turned into shining gold. The golden field continued to spread, even the hills next to it and rocks all turned into gold. Tezzero instantly created an open-pit gold mine. When the pirates saw this scene, their eyes popped out. Countless pirates' eyes exuded endless greed. A pirate is a pirate after all. Went to sea just for the treasure. But now, the biggest treasure in the world is right in front of them. A gold mine. Ha 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 ha, see my power. Golden Emperor Tezzero laughed up to the sky, waved his arms, and the gold under his feet suddenly surged. The water like gold gathered on it, instantly forming a golden giant with a height of more than 100 meters. The golden giant's body surface was still engraved with mysterious patterns. It makes him look more domineering and unreliable. Golden Divine Fire. Two hot laser rays were shot from the eyes of the golden giant, hitting the navy. Wherever the laser struck, the rocks melted into magma, and the flames caused by the explosion spread everywhere. Many Navy soldiers died before they could react. In the awakened state, Tezzero uses the Golden Divine Fire. The laser is not only powerful, but also has an extremely long range. Even warships dozens of kilometers away can be destroyed instantly. The laser continues, like two lasers passing through an ant nest. The Navy soldiers suffered heavy casualties. Gravity Knife Tiger. A roar suddenly sounded, followed by unparalleled huge gravity. The golden giant was hit hard, and the huge body was directly knocked away for more than 10 meters, and the golden armor on the body was shattered. At the same time, the laser rays also interrupted. Yes, I am saved, I am a general with a smile. Very good. Save a small life. The surviving naval soldiers gasped for breath, feeling the joy of being alive. Tetzara turned around and saw a blind swordsman standing on a stone, and the stone was suspended in front of him. We cannot allow you to kill the Navy so unscrupulously. As a Navy admiral, I have the responsibility to kill you here. Oh? Is he the new admiral? Tetzara showed a hint of interest. I've heard about you. I heard that your strength was terrifying and shocked the entire Navy headquarters, so I took the position of admiral directly. I'm here today to experience your strength. Golden Divine Fire. Two more laser rays shot at Fujitora, but they were chopped into pieces by Fujitora's sword.